Moving from one cell to another is an easy process. I just click on the cell I want and that's it. However, when I want to move to a cell far away or even close by cells, using the keyboard is the most efficient way. In this lesson, I will show you some keyboard shortcuts so that you can move easily and quickly anywhere in the worksheet or even to worksheets nearby. First, let's see how I can move to the top left corner to cell A1. This is as easy as pressing the Ctrl Home combination. With this combination, no matter where I am in the worksheet, I move to the top left corner, which of course is cell A1. Similarly, if I press the Ctrl End combination, I move to the last cell down and to the right, which contains data. In this case, it is cell N16. This cell will be different depending on the data you have in your worksheet. So with the Ctrl End combination, you will navigate to the last cell that contains data, but Ctrl Home will always move you to cell A1. This is also interesting. It is also interesting how I can move inside a data area. For example, I will click on cell C5 and I will press Ctrl right arrow. I moved to the right end of this area. The other arrows work similarly. What these combinations do is stop where they find an empty cell. For example, I will delete the data of cell F5 and I will click to move to cell C5. Now I will press the Ctrl right arrow and I see that I got to cell E5 and not to H5 because F5 is empty. These combinations are also very useful to enlarge data lists to discover if you have forgotten some empty cells. If I now press Ctrl right arrow again, I go to the next area starting from G5 and pressing Ctrl right arrow 2 more times, you see that I went to the end of all the columns of this specific Excel worksheet. Similarly, if I press Ctrl and down arrow, I go to the last row of the cell of the Excel worksheet or the last row of the data area if I was in a data area. Now, I was not in a data area, so I went just to the end of the worksheet. Another very useful feature is the ability to go directly to the cell of interest by typing its reference. For example, I want to move to cell K1000. If you try to do this either with the mouse or the keyboard, you will find that it takes a lot of time because the Excel worksheet is very large. At the top left corner of the worksheet, there is a box called the name box. Here I can click and type the cell I'm interested in. For example, I will type K1000 and by pressing enter, I'm automatically taken to that cell. This box works in ways that you will learn at the advanced level, and using it the way I showed you here can cause some confusion without the advanced level knowledge of how to name cells. What you need to know is that if you accidentally write something else than a valid cell reference, you actually name that specific cell with that name. But that's for the advanced level course, so I won't say anything else. Just make sure not to mistakenly put any name other than a valid cell reference in this name box. To avoid these problems, you can go to the Go To tool. From the Home tab in the Editing palette, there is the Find and Select button. I will open it and press Go To. I can do the same as with the name box by writing the cell reference at the bottom. For example, I will write B2000. And I will press OK here. The advantage here is that if I make a mistake, I don't have the same issue as with the name box. I will open the Go To window using the Ctrl G combination on the keyboard this time. And I will write BB, which is obviously wrong. This is not a cell reference. I will press OK, and here the message notifies me that this cell does not exist. Also, a list appears here with the cells I was previously in. For example, if I am in cell A100 and use the Go To tool to go to B20, for example, then A100 will be added to this list so I can quickly return there if I want. It's like a history of cells I have navigated to. Another convenient keyboard shortcut is the Control Page Down and Control Page Up for moving to the right or left worksheet respectively. Often you want to move without taking your hands off the keyboard, so I will press Control Page Down and I moved to the right to the Chart 2023 worksheet. Now I will press Ctrl Page Up and I moved to the left to the Copies worksheet. All this might seem not necessary now that you are still at the beginner level, because if you simply want to move somewhere, you just click to the cell you want and that's it. However, when you want to work efficiently and want this work to be done as quickly as possible without unnecessary delays, knowing how to navigate with keyboard shortcuts will make you work much faster. That's all for this lesson. Thank you for watching.